LCAC Facebook that
Okay.
I usually copy. Bit of Leicester. Tonight, we have Scott Weikel. Here, we're going to talk about Leicester Lights. We're trying to fund it. We have different things going on down there, but anybody from town, they've been down on Waite Street, they've seen Leicester Lights.
Most of the people in town, there's still a few people who don't know about it. That just always amazes me, but there's still a handful who don't know anything about it.
So how are you tonight, Scott?
Very well, how are you?
Good. Doing
Seems
excellent.
strange the first day of summer to be talking about Christmas, but it's
Hey,
my
that's
world.
my line.
All
I was just going to
sorry.
say here, we have
Sorry.
first day of summer, we're talking about what's happening in the winter here.
Yeah, but the days get shorter now.
They do. Absolutely. Now, a couple of years ago, you kind of had to put an end to what you were doing because of conflict in traffic, and I guess it was a little neighbor conflict.
No, the neighbors really were supportive. The one night, traffic was back down to Ellers and all the way up to the center of town, and the police come down, very rightfully so, and they had to clear the traffic, and they did say, if we're going to get crowds like that, we need police detail. And I do not blame them. It was hectic that night.
You and I had talked, and actually I've talked to the chief myself and a couple of the other officers, and it's definitely not a police problem. They're
No.
not a bad guy.
Oh, no, that's what I said. Every story I've ever done, if you go look
Yeah.
at my Leicester Christmas display page, I've always said I do not blame the police. It did get hectic down there. What happened was the young man with the assault rifle back in 2015, the Boston news stations came down. They saw our display. We went on the Boston news stations. There was a gentleman from the TV show called The Prophet who happened to find it looking for Worcester Airport. He podcasted it. So it was a perfect storm. We were not getting people from just the next town away anymore. We were getting them from the next states away.
Right.
We were getting 3,000, 3,500 people a night down there. And it got crazy. It really, truly did. So we weren't going to do it, but then people stepped up and helped with the police detail. The gentleman from the TV show did, yeah. He stepped up, and another young lady from town stepped up too. So.
Now, basically, I know you've had like a donation box, what have you, throughout the years, but you basically fund this out of your pocket.
Up until right now, 100% of the display was financed by myself and my wife, and it still is going to be. We did raise over $12,000 for charities, but every penny of that went right back to local charities in Leicester, some in Worcester, and then I also kept some, and then throughout the year, when I hear people down on their luck who need help, I anonymously donate it to them.
Sure.
But 100% of it is funded by my wife and I, including the electric bill. That's paid for by myself.
Sure.
I work 7-day weeks all year round. We do not go anywhere. We don't go out at night. So it is 100% financed by us.
I know, it's a rarity to find you at a coffee shop in the morning.
I just work to be able to do this. So I'm not complaining, but that it still is, it's 100% funded by us.
And it's not just a simple little one electric service.
Oh, no. I have a whole service I brought in that's only used for the Halloween and Christmas, including the regular service for the house. This year, and it looks like I'm trying to get it up and run, and I'm actually going to be getting generators to run off the back part of it. So it's a year-round job. It's not a job, but if you saw our middle room that's supposed to be my wife's fancy dining room, it's full of decorations. I have 1,400 dozen candy canes ready to go for Christmas this year. So it's a year-round thing. But
It's a labor of love.
It is, but if you saw what goes on down there, it's pretty awesome, to be honest with you. I don't know that a lot of people in this town even know what goes on down there. But it's, like I said, people come from every state around now to see it, and it's pretty spectacular.
It is. I mean, I've done 2 shows where I've gone through down there, we've showed it.
And it's been bigger since the
and
last
every
time.
year it gets bigger and bigger. And
What I have planned for this year, I'm not going to do the Halloween display
Right.
because I need to start this thing in October. I have a lot of stuff planned for this year.
Yeah.
A lot of cancer tribute type things too this year for people who pass away with cancer. So it is a full-time thing.
so you are going to start in October. But when do you actually feel you're going to start lighting? Is that after Thanksgiving?
We always have them on for Thanksgiving night.
For Thanksgiving
night, which we'll probably do this year. But I'm hoping, part of me wants the crowds to die down, but part of me doesn't. But right now I'm maybe leaning towards having them only on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. Yes. Maybe at the beginning of the year a little bit more. If the crowds really pick up, then it will definitely be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. So.
I mean, this is something you and your wife have to absolutely love to do.
Yes.
I mean, Christmas has to be your favorite holiday.
It is, because it's going to sound corny, but there's not a person out there who isn't going through something personal in their life. And the stories we hear down there, we see people in tears. It truly is amazing. When the yard is full of people, it's truly amazing what goes on down there.
It is.
It truly is. Plus, there's no admission. It's all 100% free.
Right.
And I need a secretary at Christmas time to run my Facebook page. Just the questions, and people say, does it cost anything? Because we don't have any money. No, it's free. It's free.
Right.
There's no charge to come in down through there. The Facebook page has just under 9,000 followers. I don't know of another thing in Leicester that, it sounds like I'm bragging, but I don't know of another place in Leicester that has that many followers on their Facebook page.
Absolutely.
Any one of my posts is seen by, anything with substance is seen by over 10,000 people. The one post back in 2015 was seen by 123,000 people. We went to bed with Channel 7 out there doing a live shot. We told Channel 5 out of Boston, please do not come down. We do not need you down. We do not need any more publicity. So
Yeah.
it sounds like I'm bragging, but but the good thing is, it brings a lot of people to the restaurants in town. Everybody's walking around with a hot chocolate from Cumberland Farms, a Dunkin' Donuts. Now, I've lived in Leicester 26 years, but my roots are in Clinton, and that's where my family is. And they come out, one of the local restaurants that Saturday night, with reservations. It took them 2.5 hours to get their food at the local one of the local restaurants. So,
well, that is.
It brings a lot of people to the town of Leicester that wouldn't normally come.
I've drove through. Maybe I'm one of the contributors, but even though I wasn't doing a show, I've drove through just out of curiosity on different nights just to see type of flow we had down there and stuff. And traffic can be hectic.
Yes, it can.
You've done everything you can.
I put cones out. I spoke with Chief Hurley, who was awesome. He even suggested us to, the nights that the police were down there, they literally did make White Street a one-way street. But he suggested we tell the people when they leave, go down the end of the street, take a right, and the right will drop you back out on Route 9. And we had volunteers down there, and everybody, we put only half the people would do that. And I know it's a private street. I know it's a public street. They can do what they want and everything like that. But I would need the cooperation from people. They would go down and turn around and come back up, which they have every right to. I know they have every right to do that.
But, I can understand your neighbors wanting to come back if they come in a certain direction.
Yes.
But when we have visitors coming in to look at lights, it makes it so much easier if everybody comes off of Route 9, follows it down, takes a right, and they're right back on Route 9 again.
Yes.
And continue to where they want.
And like I said, we had a slew of volunteers. People who left this town were awesome with that. They'd come down. I went out and bought vests and flashlights for them, and we told everybody, please go down and take a right, and only about half of them would do it.
Then the other thing I know is, this year, the town is working on the parking lot across the street from me. It's not a large parking lot, but I believe we can get about 30, 40 cars in there if it's laid out. And I know they're bulldozing it, and their plans of putting asphalt grinders down and rolling it. There'll be a decent parking area, and it will be plowed.
Okay, good. The one thing, and Chief Hurley, he did have a spotlight. I did have a friend who lent us one. I think Spencer lent the town of Leicester one, a spotlight for in the garage down in the parking lot. It did light it up. So once I tell people that there's parking down there, when it's utilized, it really does help a lot of flow through.
Actually, from Pot's side of it, because I am on Parks and
Yes, I
Rec.
know that, yes.
I am trying to get a new sign put up there that's bigger and bolder, that does point parking.
That even goes, not, we live there, but
Yeah.
the soccer crowd too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
It's always been a tough area. When we've had baseball, we've had football games.
well, when the football were there, the police were down there with police details, so
Yes.
they could, they could curb
And they
all
used to
that.
park across the street too at the church,
Yes.
which makes it very difficult crossing Route 9.
Yes. Well, when we did have the police, the detail,
Yeah.
the option was out there to park, because St. Joseph's Church is great. Harry
Yes.
Brooks is talking with me on it, and actually we were going to possibly move the display up there too, but it just wouldn't work. It just
Yeah.
wouldn't work up there. But the thing was, the policeman was up on Route 9 for police detail. If somebody did park there, they could help people cross the road
Right.
and come down to the display at night through there.
So I understand there's a new fundraiser going around right now.
Yes, one of them, and I have many more in the process. These are the T-shirts that I had made up. On the front it says Leicester Christmas Display. And on the back it's a logo that I've had for a couple of years on my private shirts.
Yeah.
But then somebody has mentioned on my page, I'd buy a T-shirt if you sold the T-shirts. So I went out and had them made at the local place in Leicester, New Era down in Cherry Valley, and selling the T-shirts to help raise for the police detail on there.
Now I know Pleasant View Spa, Sherry Hurley's place.
Pleasant Street Diner, yes.
Pleasant
Yes,
Street
yes,
Diner.
yep.
They're carrying them, but
Yes.
where else did somebody pick these up?
Right now, I just brought some out to the, it's in Spencer,
Yeah.
Ocam, the Christmas store, Ocam Christmas store out there on 31.
Oh, it's a Christmas
31.
tree. I call it the
Oak
Christmas
Farm
tree
Christmas,
shop.
yeah, Oak Farm Christmas, I think it is.
Yeah.
I should know the name of it. I apologize for that. And also, on my Facebook page, Leicester Christmas Display, if they send me a PM message, private message on there, I can run them, I can bring them down to them, we can make somehow to get them. I'm planning on, if I can get a table at the Harvest Fair, and the Apple Fest, selling them there and having raffles too. I'm in the process of getting stuff to raffle off and all of that. The matter of fact, going to put together a lottery basket for Christmas in July that Sherry's going to sell down at Pleasant Street Diner too, because everybody seems to like scratch tickets.
Yep,
so
they do.
For fundraiser for that. So
I
have
also
a,
know she's making little cupcakes.
yes,
and stuff.
her daughter too is
Yeah.
making them. So she reached out to me and asked me if she could help or something like that. So I said, yeah. Well, I did start going down there too. But yes, so she's been absolutely wonderful.
Cool.
So there's some other things in the process that I'm going to try to do to raise funds for it. So.
What I find interesting, I mean, you and I have talked about this just before we started, is everybody in town wants things. And they all say, why don't we do this or why don't we do that? And like I was saying, it's hard to keep anything in town when people don't support it. But yet all our local businesses, no matter what it is, support anything that comes their way.
Yes, like I said, I won't tell you who we're talking about off the air,
Yeah.
but yes. I'm trying to mince my words here. As I said, other places, one prominent place in Worcester wanted to move the display down there. They wanted to call it Weikel's Winter Wonderland. It flatters your head. Actually, I was supposed to go down and meet with them, but I said no. The Worcester City Hall was getting in touch with me last year to try to move it. Other places have reached out to try to move it, but I said it belongs in Leicester.
Sure.
And I keep seeing on the People of Leicester page how we got to support, and I'm hoping that it can come
Right.
true. I don't mean to be tooting our own horn. This brings a lot of people to town. 50,000
does.
people that it brought to the town. This is I guess I'm kind of trying to sell it now because I never have in the past. And I never threw out the $12,000 we raised for charities
Charity.
that we kept in town.
But it's also going to cost roughly what, about 10 grand, I understand, for the details?
7 guesstimate. And I'm supposed to sit down with Chief Hurley
Hurley.
or Officer DeRay too and map out what we want to do. But I know what it was the first year. I'm not blaming the police either.
No,
But the
absolutely
truth
not.
is, it's fairly, and it's weekend, so it's and all of that. So it's not and if we should raise enough to pay for it and extra, it will all go right back into that. Then the most important thing is that people realize that the money is not to help fund the display; it's help to pay for the police detail, as we already said.
And it's a safety factor.
This is my baby. I'm so protective of the reputation
Yes.
it has. So it is a safety factor. It truly is.
Absolutely.
And, I talk with the neighbors, and they have voiced their concerns.
Yeah.
And this and that, and one of them was people leave their headlights on, and then people just get out of their car and run in the road. I'm fully aware of all this, and we try it as much as we can. I don't know if you went down to, I mean, I have cones up and down the street that I put in and out every night and put out and take in every night of the week.
We had a lady last year, she stepped out of her car, wasn't watching where she was going, she stepped in a pothole.
Down there?
Down
yes,
there.
Yes, and I said exactly, this is, yeah, this is.
You know, people have to be, it's beautiful, because you want to go see the lights, you want to see the display. They're not going nowhere. You have to be control of yourself. Your kids you have to hold your kids' hands when they're in the street. You should be holding their hands when you're crossing the street at night.
See, it used to be the only rule we had down there was you leave with everybody you came with. Don't leave little kids behind, because let's face it, I'm too old to be dealing with but now I actually had to set rules down for no running, no punching, no kicking, no hitting things. And one of the issues that some of the neighbors had, rightfully so, was the trash. People just throw their trash all over the place. Now my wife and one of the neighbors one Sunday, they picked up 2 bags of trash. So that is something that, you know, it's that
people have to police themselves. And if they want nice things in town, this is one of the best things that's happened to Leicester in a long time.
In a little bit of fairness, I think it's a lot of out-of-towners too that are doing it. I don't think, I mean, the support I had from the people of Leicester absolutely just blew me away that year where we said we couldn't do it anymore. It just mind-boggling, and I'm not a man of emotion either. It was just, people were just, that Holly Conkerneck girl, I never met her a day of my life. She come down and she's the one who said she paid for the police detail for the first night.
Right.
So I was talking to her last night, and I said, I'll never forget what you did. But the outpouring of support, the private messages I got, what can we do to help keep this going? And I know, because Chief Hurley came down and talked to me that Monday, and I know the police department was overwhelmed with phone calls, and I'm quite sure the town hall and some of the selectmen in town were. And so I said to Chief Hurley, so would you like me to put a post on my page calling my minions off, telling them there's something going on behind the scenes? And he said yes, so.
No, Chief Hurley, I mean, great guy. I've dealt with him on different things. I've had him on a few of my shows. He actually reaches out to the people. He's not one of these hard-nosed.
I have nothing bad to say about him.
Chief
Nope. And
guy.
it's legitimate about the police detail. It truly is.
It is.
It truly is. So that's one thing I want people to know, that because because Harry Brooks called me last year in Halloween time, and I said, Harry, I can't control it. I can, so many times I can say it's not the police's fault.
Absolutely.
Nobody shut us down. It isn't this. It isn't
Right.
that. It's not.
It's not. And no, all I want to say, I mean, people in town, and this is going to be going on YouTube, and it goes on Facebook pages.
I'll put it on my page too.
And it bounces around, so it's not going to be just the people in town. All your other surrounding towns, and as far out as Facebook land reaches and YouTube reaches, it's a good cause. It's great. It makes a lot of kids happy. It makes a lot of adults happy. It's somewhere to take your family to see something. You don't have too much that's around. Growing up, we used to, every street had lights on and stuff.
And that's what it is. And you can go to La Salette and all of that, but there's a charge for all of that. And the lines are long and everything like that. I mean, lucky, I would say come down with get a beer, but it's not. It's come down with a hot chocolate and just listen and watch what goes on a weeknight. We passed out 12,000 candy canes just to the kids that last year. Just to the little kids that last year alone down through there. It is, I lose 30 pounds a year out there doing it. It is, I probably won't work the month of November and into December. That's why I work 7 days a week now. That's why I stay self-employed for that reason. But it's a sacrifice, but it's not. It truly is. And so, but I have planned this year, especially the cancer theme thing. People have already told some people what it was, and wow, that's pretty good. So.
But I'm asking the support for this. Let's keep it going. Like he said, he's handling everything down there, but we do need to have police presence there to make it safe for everybody.
I also spoke with one of your fellow Parks and Rec, and nice guy, he sits right inside the door, drives a Cadillac, a nice guy. About if there's any, like the Little League or somebody, if for fundraiser, they want to come down and sell hot chocolate, they're more than welcome to. If there was a Boy Scout troop or somebody that sold Christmas trees, they're more than welcome to come down and do it. I'm trying to make it a town of Leicester thing. I might even have a barbecue when we start doing it, if people want to come down and help, because everybody wants to come down and help too. So I'm trying to make it a town of Leicester display, not just the Weikel Christmas display.
You're going to have to buy your neighbor's land next to you and get much bigger.
Mike Wilson from the fire department has been telling me for years to decorate community field. The community field. I know there was a little bit of talk last year about possibly the Little League baseball field. But I had 200 inflatables. All of those inflatables are on a board 24 inches square. That will just absolutely kill the field. And one of the prominent places in Worcester, it was Worcester Bravehearts. They wanted to move it down there, and that would just destroy Fitton Field.
Yes.
That would just absolutely destroy Fitton Field. So
it's not like you pick them up at the end of the night.
No. It takes, last time we did it, over 500 man hours, and the thing was my wife and I did 100% of the display ourselves. 100% of it, all of it ourselves. So it's a chore, but we.
Well, I'm not throwing this out to you. I mean, you did just mention the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, what have you, in the school. Can any of these people volunteer to help you doing anything?
Well, that was the thing last year. The other year, some of them did, and being the older generation, I didn't realize you needed community hours to graduate.
Right.
Even I guess the middle schools and everything. So. There was some people who come down, high school kids who come down and helped, and it went towards their, because it is community service, they went through to their high school, their time for community service. So there's always something even something right down as simple as getting in a costume that I have.
Exactly.
and walking around, helping with, I don't want, depending on their age, working the road police detail, but even just keeping an eye on the yard or something like that. And like I said, everybody wants to come down and help put the decorations out until they find out how much work it is.
Well, let me ask you this. You going to put out my coyote this year? I want you people to know, Scott does live right across from Community Field.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And he keeps an eye out on our field for us to make sure we don't have the vandalism and stuff going on down there. And one year, we had fake coyote try to chase the geese off.
That was funny,
It was left hanging around, and Scott brought it in for safekeeping. Yeah,
because people were drop kicking it, and I don't like to speak to other people's children, but one 15, 16-year-old boy was going to throw it over the fence into the woods. So I did ask him nicely not to do that. Let's put it that way. So then I took it and put it in my shop until I saw Mike Wilson come around. He's like, I have your coyote for you. Oh, by the way, the goose didn't matter to them. It didn't have one iota to them. So.
No, they don't, unfortunately.
No, so,
but,
well, yes.
No, you keep an eye on our property down there for us, and that's great.
Yeah, thank you.
It helps, and in return, I want to see the town support this thing, 100%.
Thank you.
So, what else do you have planned, bigger and better things down there?
Obviously, we're going to do the inflatables, moving to the animation type the signs that look like they're moving. And I don't like to give too much away because I like to be a surprise. But like I said, I do have a big tribute to people who pass away for cancer. And unfortunately, one of our neighbors passed away, Mr. O'Leary.
Yes.
So
another fixture in this town for years, and
so I have something planned for him too. So stuff like that.
Yep.
Always, and Santa Claus will always be there.
Yeah.
Yep. Might have to pull some permits for some of the things I want to do this year too. So it's constant. There's not a day that goes by I don't think about it. I don't plan it. My wife's in there watching Dancing with the Stars and those stuff, and I'm on looking for stuff and things like that. So.
She's doing that, but come wintertime, she's out there.
She's out there.
She's out there constantly.
She has some minor health issues, and she can't get cold, but she's bundled out there. She does the best she can. She's right there along with me. Okay. She's right there along with me out there helping. She's a trooper. She puts up with me.
No, again, right now, you can buy shirts at Pleasant View Spa.
Yep, Pleasant Street Diner, yes.
Pleasant Street Diner.
The Christmas store or the Leicester Christmas Display Facebook page. Get a hold of me, stop down. If the van is there, I'm there.
Yeah.
I could run them out to you. I've already brought out a lot of them to different people. It's like that.
And how much are the shirts?
$18 for adults, $15 for youth sizes. They're small and medium and small youth sizes, and small, medium, large, and extra large for adults. They do run large. I did look into extra large, but 2XL, but they were like $5 more a shirt. So right now I'm waiting to see. I had put 2 orders in with them, two decent sized orders, so we have them ready to go. I think that they're going to sell, and like I said, right now it's June.
Yes.
People aren't thinking Christmas, so I don't unexpected.
Well,
but
I think there's 27 more Fridays till Christmas.
Yeah, I saw that. I almost posted that on my page today. I like to post on my personal page just to get people mad at me. So, but I was looking at that before I come down. Yes. But we'll start October. That's 4 months away. It's right around the corner.
It is.
I have to think about this. Now, somebody had said, why don't we take the donation money to pay for the police detail? I want the donation money to go to charities, but also, and I'm not blaming the police again, I believe they need the money. They could need to be guaranteed they're going to get the money. They can't go on somebody's hearsay, I'll give it to you when I get it type of thing. So I would need the money up front.
Well,
that
absolutely.
Up front too.
I mean, there's a lot of issue. I mean, it's a paycheck.
Oh, no.
It's automatic. Whether they want to donate their time or not, they really can't because of the union stuff.
That's what people said. Why don't they just donate their time? One, anybody that knows me knows I wouldn't want that.
Right.
I wouldn't, especially at the Christmas season, I wouldn't want a police officer taken away from their family at that time of the year for free, so to speak. So I wouldn't want that in the first place.
And I'm sure most of these police officers, if not all of them, is going to make a donation one way or another to you.
Well, I know the new gentleman down the street, I can't remember his name. He came here from Rutland. Him and his family comes down. They have for years. I know a lot of them do come down. Matter of fact, when they were looking for that gentleman with the assault rifle, they were, I guess Officer Ruth told me they were literally picking up my inflatables looking for him underneath them that night. That was funny. So
I do have a question, though. We're calling this Leicester Christmas Display. I always knew it as Leicester Christmas Lights.
Yes, and I'll tell you why I changed it a couple of months ago, because in my world, lights is the fancy where you pull up and you look out the window and you stare at them. It's a competition between those type of displays and mine. So I changed it to display about 4, 5, 6 months ago, only for that reason, because it gets competitive in my world. There's a show on ABC TV in the wintertime called Great American Crit Light Fight. They have heard about our display. They know about us. Let's just say that's all I can say right now. They know about us. So, but the fancy light shows, they get all the fame. But I'll put my crowds up against any one of those, and that's across the country. I do not know of a larger residential Christmas display in Massachusetts than ours. That's once again sounds like I'm bragging, but it's a truth. There is not. I do not know of a larger one, and trust me, in my world, everybody knows everybody. So that's why I changed it from lights to display a little bit ago.
So
Yes.
I want to thank you, Scott. We got the word from the station manager. I want to thank you for coming on, and I want to thank the public out there for watching the show and tuning into LCAC, and really urge your support of Leicester Christmas Display. And
It's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook. It's going to be on YouTube, this show here. You have your own web page.
Yeah, well, it's not a web page. It's off of Facebook. Leicester Christmas Display on Facebook, yes.
And anything people can do to help out to keep this going, we'd really appreciate it out there. It's something great in the town of Leicester. It's great for the businesses going on in town. Like Scott said, they all come down with a cup of coffee, whether it be Cumberland's, I'll say Mike's, but it ain't Mike's Donut Shop no more, but whatever.
Dunkin' Donuts all over. I know that they say they go out to the local restaurants and eat. I know that for sure. They all say that. We went here to eat because we wanted to see it. And I know Walmart may not contribute a lot to Leicester, but a lot of people go to the Leicester Walmart because they say, well, I was going to go to this one, but I decided to come to this one to see the display.
Exactly.
So,
if you've seen my shows before, which I'm sure you have, I'm all about keeping business in town and spending it in town. And don't forget, like Scott said, we have restaurants. I mean, I don't want to get into all the names, but we'll start with the Castle, one of the oldest establishments. We have Ella's, we have Jay's, we have Sherry's. There's plenty of places to spend your money. So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you, Scott, for coming on.
Thank you.
And we'll call it a night. Thanks to Art Paquette and Mo Tebow for producing the show for me.